Hey everyone, welcome back. It's TJ here, and welcome to Pokemon Crystal Legacy Furret Only. So today we're going to be using Furret Only, and this will be part 1 of a part 2 episode. Only Furret is allowed to be used in battle. We'll need other Pokemon for HMs, but they're not allowed to battle. No items in battle except for Pokeballs and held items. Now this is Gen 2, so we are getting some really good useful held items. First things first, we started with a Cyndaquil. So that way our rival's going to have Totodile, which is going to be the toughest for us to battle, I think. Feraligator's just a monster. No need for the Pokemon randomizer. We just go through the little intro here and we catch our Sentret. Now, here's our Sentret. We're going to name him Subscribe. If you aren't already, if you want to help the channel out, if you like what you're seeing, go ahead and subscribe now. So we're going to put him in the front. He's level 2. He has 7 attack and pretty good stats already. He does have a DV of 14 and a speed of 9, which 14 is almost perfect for the DVs. Alright, now, time for Falkner. Falkner goes pretty easily. He does have buffed Pokemon in this game. Starts off with his Pidgey. We use Thief. We're going to try to steal his berry if he's got one. He doesn't have a berry, so we're just going to use Quick Attack. We're still a little slower than his Pidgey, but that's okay. Pidgey goes down and out comes Noctowl. Now, Noctowl does carry a berry, which we're going to steal and we're going to use quite easily. It is nice that we can steal it and use it to give ourselves a little bit of an extra heal. Now, we're just going to Quick Attack him down. He's going to hurt us a little bit, but I don't think we're going to have any problem with this. He tried to lower our attack, but we got him. That's Falkner down and Badge 1 complete. Oh, his dad's cherished birds. Now, I know what you're saying. Josh, that was a Sentret. Well, we have to evolve him. We go down through the route a little ways, and we come upon this trainer who finally lets us level up our Furret, our Sentret enough to become a Furret. Camper Roland. He sends out a level 9 Nidoran, and he goes down easy in 2 quick attacks. And then, what do you know? Subscribe is evolving. Now, I didn't show stats, I didn't show move sets because everything has changed in this game. Up next is Bugsy. Bugsy is going to lead with a Pineco. We got the Dig TM, and we're going to dig here because it's probably our best bet. Oh, wait, he's Bug. So never mind, that doesn't work. Alright, we're going to use Thief, and we're going to hopefully not get pin-missiled to death here. Headbutt is incredibly strong in this game, and we're going to try for some paralyzing. Flinching. Ledian comes out next. He goes down in almost 1 headbutt, but he flinches and we get the kill. Next out is his Scyther. Now this Scyther is very dangerous. Cut has been changed to be Bug type in this, and it's a high critical hit item, a high critical hit move as well. Thankfully, I believe it only has 90 accuracy. He does miss there, giving us the win. After Bugsy comes our second rival fight. He sends out Zubat, which Furret has no problem just doing a quick headbutt on and one hit killing it. Next, he sends out his Larvitar. Now, this is why we got Dig. Quick Attack doesn't do too much, and his rock throw's not doing too much, so we're going to Dig, and we're just going to finish him off with Dig. Our rival doesn't really have much to do, doesn't have much of a chance against us right now, for the most part. Croconaw is kind of tanky. Now, Dig you may look at and say, hey, that's not doing that much damage, and it's not. Dig was reduced, I believe, to like a 60 power move in for this game, so it is a big difference. Next up is Whitney. Whitney leads with her signature Clefairy, and she does have her Miltank here. We go for a headbutt, and we get the flinch, and followed up by another headbutt for the kill. Out comes Teddy Ursa, who is a 2-hit with headbutt. He tries to headbutt us back, but we're faster, so we don't get flinched or anything. That is kind of dangerous if we get outsped. We do level up to 25, and we get to learn Pursuit. We're going to take off Quick Attack because I do think Pursuit's going to be coming really handy for Morty. Out comes her Miltank. Now Miltank here is dangerous. Thankfully her first rollout misses. We dig, her second rollout misses, and we hit her with a dig. Didn't do too much damage there. I keep forgetting that dig is a low damage move, but it does interrupt her rollout, which is helpful. We get a critical hit for the win. Now Whitney becomes a huge crybaby and refuses to give us this. They still kept that in there. We have to go and talk to this and then talk to her again to be able to get the badge because apparently she's just such a crybaby. And she also gives us the TM for Attract. She calls herself cute. I don't know. I think she might be coming on to us. All right. Next up is another rival fight in the Burnt Tower. He starts off leading this time with Larvitar. Larvitar is going to be an easy one-hit kill with Surf. We picked up Surf from the Kimono Girls. They were all pretty easy and not too bad. Next out is Houndour, who goes down in one hit with Surf. Now, Furret doesn't really have that great a special, but against something that's weak against water, it doesn't really make too bad of a difference. Golbat comes out and confuses us. We fight off the confusion and get the kill with Headbutt, and out comes Crocnaw. Subscribe accidentally hits itself, and then we get hit for an Ice Punch. We don't get frozen, thankfully. We go for a Thief, we hit him, and it doesn't do too much damage. He hits us back for an Ice Punch. We recover using a Berry, and then we go for a Headbutt. Hopefully we'll get a flinch here. We're still fighting confusion. We hit ourselves, get hit by an Ice Punch. We're not confused anymore. We go for the Headbutt, and we finish it off with a critical hit for the win. Whew, that was close. We fall down the hole, wake up the legendary dogs, and we're on to Morty. Morty leads with a Haunter. Subscribe goes out, and we go for a Dig. Now, they don't have Levitate in this version. I believe we don't have abilities in this version, so there's no Levitate, thankfully. Now, they changed out his team. Next up is Stantler, who goes down to one hit with Extreme Speed. Yes, we picked up Extreme Speed, which is really good. Miss Drevis comes out. Miss Drevis, we have to dig. Now, this battle, we did try. I sat here for so many times trying to figure out a way to get rid of this Parish Count. We were not able to beat this Miss Drevis. Anytime we beat it, out comes as Gengar, and we always die from the Parish Song. So I do kind of break my rules here, but after 42 tries, 42 tries, I decided to get rid of the Parish Song and then swap back into Furret. I just could not find a way around it. I couldn't do enough damage to Miss Drevis hitting with special attacks. So out comes Gengar. We dig. He tries to put us to sleep, but we're under the ground, so we can't fall asleep. We hit him for almost all of his HP. He tries to hit a Hypnosis, but we dodge it. We finish him off with a Surf. We level up to 32. Like is going to level up here a little bit. And out comes the Miss Drevis again. We're going to go for a Dig. It's going to do Psywave and miss. Dig is so good for this. Miss Drevis outspeeds us, and every single time, her first time out, she always did Parasong. I could not find a way around this. But Morty is defeated, finally. Out comes Chuck. Now, this was a tough battle, too. Hitmontop comes out. He's not too bad. We go for an Extreme Speed. We almost take him out. He hits us for a rolling kick for almost half of our HP, but another Extreme Speed finishes him off. Next up is Primeape, the fast, hard-hitting monkey. He goes down in one Extreme Speed, though. He has really low defense. Sudowoodo, well, we got an answer for that. We have Surf. One hit takes him to a little under half. He hits us for a hard-hit Rock Slide, and we take him out on the return. Subscribe is doing really good here. Outcomes is Ace is Poliwrath. Poliwrath is kind of scary in this, but we dig a hole. He misses a Dynamic Punch. We don't want to get confused. Dynamic Punch misses as we come up. We go for an Extreme Speed to try to get the kill. Almost got him. He misses a third Dynamic Punch, and we finish him off for the win and the badge. Not too bad, Chuck. All right, next comes Price. Price leads off with his Cloyster, who's pretty darn tanky, but we do end up taking him down in 2 hits of extreme speed. He puts spikes around, which aren't going to really affect us, thankfully, because we're not going to be taking much damage. We're not going to be switching out. We do get the option to learn Double Edge, and I do take it. I know it's recoil damage, but I feel that it's going to do better than Headbutt because it's 120 base power. So I think that, honestly, leveling up, I think is what gave us the win here. Giving us Double Edge, we can now just one-shot everything. As long as we outspeed it and we're not taking much damage, we're going to be pretty good. Out comes his Sneasel, and we're going to go for an extreme speed to see the damage. Sneasel goes down in 1 hit. That's not a problem. And finally, he comes out with his Jinx. Jinx is just going to go down to 1 extreme speed. Jinx has such low defense and HP, it's pretty easy. Out comes his Dugong. Whenever I see Dugong, I always think of the show, and I always hear Dugong Gong. So, if you ever like that show, let me know. All right, now here comes Jasmine. Jasmine was a pain. I couldn't kill her when I first tried, when she was first available. So we went to Price, and then we came back to her. She confuses us with Skarmory. We end up taking Skarmory out in 2 turns with extreme speed. We level up to 46. Furret is looking pretty good with its stats so far. Now comes Corsola. We don't really have a good answer for Corsola except for Dig, and we have to break through Confusion luck just to be able to do Dig. But we do get a 1-hit KO on him. Out comes her Magneton. Magneton's pretty good. It still doesn't have Levitate, so 1 Dig should take this out. Even with a 60 base power, we do have a 9 level lead on them, so using a lower powered Dig isn't hurting us too much. Out comes her Scissor, which is really scary. Extreme speed isn't going to do a lot. It does over half, but I was hoping that it would do more. Thankfully, extreme speed does give us priority, so we do take it out without taking any damage. Out comes her Steelix. Now this is the one I struggled a lot with. We dig down. He goes for an Iron Tail. We hit him once with Dig. It only takes him to a little under half, and he hits us with another Iron Tail. He misses this time, and we bring out the Dig for the win. It is kind of ironic that we're having a Furret use Dig. All right, next up is Leader Claire. Claire leads off with her Dragonair. She does have her Kingdra in this version, so she is still pretty dangerous with that. Starts off with Dragonair. That's an easy one-shot with extreme speed. Out comes Gyarados, who flies. Yeah, so we dig so we don't get hit. He comes down, misses us. We come up, and we miss him. He flies up again, and I decide just to take the hit because it's kind of silly that Gyarados is flying. But it does make sense that he does fly. Now we use extreme speed to hit him before he does his fly. Out is her Lapras. Now this one is tanky as heck, but Double Edge takes it down in 1 shot. That Double Edge is really, really good for us. I'm glad we got that. Dragonair comes out next, and that's going to be an easy 1-hit with extreme speed. And finally, out comes her Kingdra. Now this Kingdra is tanky as heck. It still is tanky and dangerous, but I'm ahead by about 10 levels, and Double Edge does so much damage with 120 base power. She gets upset with us and says that we're not ready for the Pokemon League, and we have to go find the Dragon's Den leader. So we go in, and we have to go through all this noise about, do we beat our Pokemon? What's the most important thing in life? And how do you raise your Pokemon? And finally, we're like, we like our Pokemon and we don't want to see them hurt, so we take good care of them. We use extreme speed so we don't get hit lots. And finally, the Elder's like, Claire, give him the damn badge. I do want to take this little moment here while you're watching the little cutscene here to thank everybody who joined in today. Hopefully we'll be coming out with part 2 here shortly. I am looking forward to this. These have been extremely fun. So I do want to thank everybody that has joined in for them. You guys are why I'm doing this. I like doing these challenges. I do apologize, this isn't the Pokemon Emerald Lunatone run. That run is still being worked on. I had some technical difficulties with my recording. I couldn't get it working on my emulator. It kept crashing. But I was finally able to work out the bugs, so after we finish up this Pokemon Crystal Legacy run, we will be going to the Emerald, Lunatone, Soul Rock run. Alright, now, we finally get the Rising Badge, which lets us climb with waterfalls and all Pokemon will obey us. Well, that's good. Alright, Agath wants to battle. He starts off leading with an Ursaring. Ursaring is pretty strong, and he does end up early evolving his Larvitar for this fight, which is kind of cool. Through the power of love, I guess. I don't know. He doesn't seem to really love his Pokemon, but you never know. Next comes his Golbat, who's a quick, easy kill with extreme speed. Subscribe is hanging in there. Out comes Victory Bell. Victory Bell goes down with 1 extreme speed. Extreme speed, I believe, was buffed to 80 base power, so it's really, really strong in this game, in this version. We extreme speed Houndoom, who goes down. Pretty easy one-shot. We are about 15 levels ahead of him. No, we're almost 20. And Feraligatr goes down in 1 hit. Out comes his Tyranitar. Yes, you are seeing that correct, folks. He has a Tyranitar at level 48. Smith Plays added this in because he thought it was kind of a cool nod to how early evolution might work. So that was kind of cool. All right, with our final rival done, up comes the Elite Four. First up in the Elite Four, we have Psychic Trainer Will. Will starts off with sending out a Girafarig, and Subscribe at level 71 takes him down with a single Double Edge. I've been trying to figure out how to get leftovers to kind of supplement the damage I'm taking from Double Edge, but I haven't found any yet, and I've been looking around and I haven't found anything. So we're just going to do this without leftovers. We do have a Goldberry equipped to kind of help us out there. Slowbro goes down in 1 hit pretty easily. Out comes Slowking. Slowking is going to be just a one-shot with Double Edge. Out comes Espeon. Espeon is kind of tanky physically, but still goes down in 1 hit. We do have quite the level lead just from doing trainer battles, but I don't feel that we're in a bad situation. Xatu goes down to 1 Shadow Ball. Now, I did change out my Dig for Shadow Ball because I felt that going up against the 3rd Elite Four member, we were really struggling with just having Dig. It wasn't doing enough base power damage, I think, and so we swapped that up after a couple of tries here. All right, next we have Koga, who is giving up his gym duties and leaving his daughter behind to fend for herself. But what's the worst that could go wrong, right? It's not like she has just 3 Venonats and a Venomoth, right? All right, out comes Koga, the Poison Master. First is Ariados. Ariados goes down to... well, I'm not sure. Yeah, I did. I used Extreme Speed here. I was going to go for the Double Edge, but I didn't want the recoil damage just because he does have a Forretress, which can hurt me sometimes. Quillfish goes down to 1 Double Edge. You kind of notice a pattern here. Double Edge is really strong in this generation. Out comes Muck. Muck is a one-shot with Double Edge. I do believe he still has a Weezing, a Venomoth left. You will notice that he only has 5 Pokemon. So did Will. Now, there are rematches here where they do have a full team of 6, and they are really highly leveled up. His Venomoth goes down to 1, and out comes his ace, Crobat. Crobat is going to be a one-shot with Double Edge. Pretty easy, pretty simple. I think we got hit maybe once here. So he was actually really, really simple. The first 2 I didn't really struggle with at all. It was, you guys are going to be surprised, but the one that I struggled with the most through all of this was Lance. But we'll get to Lance here in a few minutes. Next up is Bruno. Now, Bruno is the fighting master here, and he's not too terrible. He still leads with an Onix, I believe it is. No, sorry, he leads with a Hitmonchan. Now, the Hitmons have really low base HP. We get hit for that, but we end up killing him. The extreme speed, we still would have been outsped, but it wouldn't have been a kill. Next up is Heracross, who's very scary. He hits us. Ooh, he hits with the cross chop. Thankfully, it didn't crit, but we're going to restart this because we don't have enough HP to even survive going up against his Machamp. Machamp is not a one-hit kill. Of course, it does make sense that the fighting the fighting guy is our hardest fight because we are weak to fighting moves. So Hitmonchan is a one-hit with extreme speed. Next out is Heracross. Heracross goes down to almost down to 1 extreme speed, hits us with a hard-hitting cross chop and knocks us out. All right, well, let's try that again, shall we? Bruno, you're giving us a pain, but we're going to get you. You will bow down. Yeah, you're hurting us. Bruno sends out his Hitmonchan, who, as always, is just a one-hit with extreme speed. And that Heracross, hopefully I do believe we outspeed the Heracross. I think maybe the double edge is the way to go. We're going to have to take some damage here, but hopefully we're not going to get crit by Machamp. Hitmonlee comes out. Hitmonlee is just a quick, easy kill with extreme speed. And out comes Machamp. Big hitting, hard slapping Machamp. Double edge him down for the kill. Thankfully, that is a roll. And last but not least is Steelix, who is a one-hit with Surf. Bruno is out of the way. The Heracross was kind of the problem with him, but thankfully we were able to get through it. And next up we have Agatha. Now Agatha really did give me a lot of trouble. I had to try to figure out ways to beat her. Dig was not doing enough damage. We were getting just knocked out time and time again by her Gengars and her Misdreavus. So we had to figure out a way to do this. And there is a little bit of chat about her and Professor Elm. You see in the beginning there. She leads off with Umbreon. Umbreon, I forgot that, is going to actually resist Shadow Ball. Tries to up its evasion and goes down to one double edge. Thankfully, the recoil isn't that much because Umbreon doesn't have a high HP stat. We get to level 73. I was about to say level 37. Boy. Out comes Houndoom. Houndoom goes down to 1 double edge. And we still take a little more recoil damage. We're up to 246 HP on subscribe, which is really good. Gengar's out next. Gengar is not too bad with Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is still really, really strong in this generation. So he goes down to 1. Out comes Vileplume. Now, I can kind of see where they were going with Vileplume for this, because Vileplume does kind of fit her theme. Maybe a little bit more Koga because of the poisoning, but either way. And out last is Murkrow. Murkrow didn't get a hit on us, thankfully. And yeah, Agatha gave me a lot of trouble until I grabbed Shadow Ball instead of Dig. It made Bruno a little harder not being able to dig, but it did make all of that a lot easier. Now, we are going to heal up, and we are going to actually replace one of our moves with Ice Punch. I tried many times to try and get through this Lance fight with the current moveset, but the only way I found is we just take too much damage. He hyper beams like crazy. Everything hits like a truck. So we actually do swap one of our moves for Ice Punch. Now Ice Punch, Furret can actually learn all 3 elemental punches, which is kind of cool. I didn't know that before going into this, so I never grabbed him when I could have, but we are going to replace Shadow Ball with Ice Punch. And then we're going to do a quick save, just a safety save to make sure we don't have to go back through Agatha again. And here is Lance. Now, Lance, I do believe he does have a legendary bird from Red. This game kind of follows more storyline of being the second game, so it is kind of cool they added that in there. I'm down to 2 double edges. Gyarados goes down with 1 shot, and out comes his first Dragonite. Dragonite is quad weak to Ice Punch. Ice Punch doesn't have that great of a base power for this, but it is enough to take out any kind of a threat. Next up is Charizard. I don't really have a good answer for Charizard. Surf doesn't kill him. He double teams, thankfully. So many of my runs to Charizard ended with him hitting us with a crit flamethrower. Sometimes it didn't even need to be a crit, depending on how much the Dragonite hit us for. Out comes Zapdos, who isn't a one-hit kill with Ice Punch, but he does get frozen. Now, that's a 10% chance to happen. We get the freeze on Zapdos and follow it up with killing. Out comes his Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl does threaten us quite a lot with Hyper Beam, but we get the freeze. Nice! 2-hit kill on Aerodactyl. Thanks to the freeze, we don't take any damage, and out comes his last Dragonite. His last Dragonite is an easy one-hit kill with Ice Punch. With that kill, gives us the win and gives us the championship. Thank you, Lance, for helping us with everything and for letting us beat you. Professor Oak and Mary come to try to give us an interview, and Lance whisks us away to the hidden room in the back part of the Pokemon League. With that, we have finished the first part. We are the champions of Johto, but what about the champion of Kanto? Can we really be a champion if we don't have all the badges? That is the question that we have to answer. With a playtime of 7 hours 48 minutes, I don't think that's pretty bad. We need to understand how to use Pokeballs. Well, he's kind of rough. All right, everyone. I want to thank you all for joining today. Thank you for making this channel so wonderful and so great, and for having fun with me. If you do want to keep seeing more content like this, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, so that way you get notified when I post new videos. And I just want to thank everybody for joining in here. You guys have a great rest of your day, and as always, see you next time.